just land awkwardly. You can't do anything about those. But he does have an important role to play tonight, Brodie Smith. His teammates are going to be coming to the bench. They're going to be feeding off some of his body language. So it's important for the rest of his team that he stays up and really encourages and plays a leadership role.
So start of the second quarter here. Crows by 2 goals. GWS with the first of the clearances. Shaw goes very, very wide down the line looking for Cameron. Couldn't break the tag with his opponent. At Hartigan, an intelligent handball to Lever. Had a little bit of a fumble in the difficult conditions. Hartigan goes back to mop up, and this will be a ball up. So Hartigan had some issues late in the year. Worked his way to get back into the side just in the nick of time. Umpire Jeff Dalglish throwing the footy up. Kelly. Little one from Shield. Now Shaw sets it up to the top of the square. Whitfield was there, couldn't get hold of it. In chases Himmelberg. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. Didn't quite know what to do with that. And Lever, Crouch and Laird able to take it away.
They worked it pretty well, Adelaide, didn't they? That's a clever mark. Rain coming down. He kept his eyes on the ball. He and Williams were disorientated for a moment. Seedsman over the top. Crouch. Knight went without it. So he's messed it up here after, and then scoops it back. Turning Atkins, and that should be holding the ball. It is. Advantage given. Ward to bang and crash. And then Canelio, so not much advantage. Now Shield to run hard and go with a high, wonderful forward pattern. It's not a good kick, and that one will go out of play. But they get a stoppage in the left forward pocket. Trailing by a couple of goals. Slippery conditions. Just enough rain to be a bit of nuisance value at the moment.
So opportunity here, GWS forward end. Mumford bundled out of the way easily by Jacobs. Delidio trying to make contact with the footy. McKay ball was smothered. And I think we're going to have another stoppage here.
Just on the conditions, these are the type of conditions where it's really confusing as a player. It's not necessarily wet enough to just be a bog where you throw it on the boot at the first opportunity, and it's not quite dry enough to try and be precise all the time.
It's a good point. Very good point. The players are playing like that at the moment, a little confused about which way to go.
One thing we were saying in the pre-game, that the grass is quite long, very lush, and that's what that keeps. It tends to retain the moisture more than the more closely cropped grounds.
Jacobs, but green red at best. Kelly twisting, turning. Got caught there, Lee, but I reckon Kelly's probably been the dominant player on the ground so far.
Yeah, no, he's been good. The Crouch brothers been good. They prolific ball getters. And Kelly looks the one at the moment the most dangerous, because he's the one who looks like he can get into space, and he uses it so well when he does.
Hartigan, low ball down that line. There is Crouch held up there by Hopper, and then his brother gets involved. That 18 disposals between them in the opening term. Of course, they broke the all-time record of the Richardson brothers going back into the 1970s in Perth, didn't they, with their phenomenal effort in round 23.
87 between them in the last match. Jenkins has been paid this mark here. Davis almost going over the mark. Jenkins continues to send it out wide. McGovern was spoilt by his own man in Walker in the end. Williams had a battle keeping it in play, but did well in the end. Jenkins with a little knockdown. Seedsman kicked a goal in the first quarter as well. Crouch around the corner. That was Matt off hands. And a throw by Tex. We'll see Haynes with the free at half back. Good call by the umpire.
Yep. Fine player, Haynes. Had that nasty injury in Canberra earlier this year on a Friday night. He goes down the line. Jacobs couldn't quite hang on. Little give was okay from Brown. Now Adelaide to reset. It's Hartigan. Kicks to a situation where Haynes probably deserved a free kick. Hopper, that was clever by Knight. Just cut it off, and then Haynes got heavily involved and tries to push the ball out. Not coming out. It'll be a stoppage. So Adelaide just forward to centre. They've made most of the running in this match, lead by a couple of goals, but they're down a good man.
Love the way he plays, Nick Haynes. Exciting player, goes for it. Here he is again. Bangs it on the boot, got it as far away from the danger zone as he possibly could. Hardigan in front and Jeremy Cameron making sure he goes nowhere. Cameron hasn't had a lot of it. 3 touches so far in this game. Crouch brothers 12 and 9. Stevie J in the box here today. Not selected, in preference to Bohr, but looks like he's got a role and that's what he wants to do, go coaching. Cameron with a low skidding bullet. Haynes again under pressure. Beautiful pick-up on the non-preferred side, wasn't so good.
They're under pressure, aren't they, GWS, right now? You feel like Adelaide are just screwing a little tighter. They're really pushing hard.
Yeah, it was a really smart kick into the forward line. It just made sure that if GWS did win the ball, they had to come back through all 18 Crows players.
Betts couldn't get it off Canelio, but then Knight holds him up. It's just an important minute or two here for GWS.
Well, it's like stretching the court, isn't it? I mean, it's only 2 goals, but it's a low-scoring game. But I think from that point of view, at least the Giants have kept it low-scoring. I think a shootout, the Crows would win.
Oh, Betts just missing, roving it brilliantly.
For such a dangerous player, you wonder how he finds so much space in that situation. I mean, probably copped a pretty good block there from a teammate, but that's the play. That's what we know they like to do, the Crows. It's get them up, beat them goal side and try and get on the end of it.
And being on the move in the stoppage.
It's one thing to know what's coming, it's another to try and stop it.
There's also a sense if there's any kind of time the Crows midfield is getting back to support their defence. I'm not sure whether the Giants midfield is pushing back as aggressively and as quickly.
And that's something they've been criticised for. That's probably one of the weaknesses in their game.
Josh Jenkins certainly thought so.
He did on radio during the week. He said we stitched them up a couple of times through the midfield, he said. Interesting comments, honest comments, and we like that of players. Big Josh, big job tonight. Little soccer out towards Cameron. Keeps it alive. And now the hard part.
He's almost a finished product, not quite, isn't he? I mean, he's like a young colt that hasn't quite been broken in properly. I think he every now and then just does something remarkable, but hasn't finished that well this season. That ball down the line. Douglas pushed it forward, only as far as Shield. Shield bangs it forward. Hard one to control for Deledio. He's had a quietish start. The player sort of negating pinch-hitting role, Deledio, almost now, isn't he? Senior citizen. Hardly. I think he played 6 consecutive seasons without missing a match, and yet it's been riddled with injury over the last 3 or 4.
Yeah, he has indeed. Mumford, beautiful to advantage there. Handball shot out by Canelio, but really difficult conditions to handle. You saw Heath Saw there slipping as well, and then a bit of a fresh airy on that a time from Canelio. It goes hard, Scully, really hard, picked up by Douglas. Long ball, Haynes has got it all to do, and he's been paid the free. McGovern caught behind. There was a lot of pressure on Haynes.
And he's been outstanding, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He provides that third man up in the air type support that so valuable, and teams are able to really springboard off that type of play. But you feel like that's the sort of entry that now that the Crows might have to resort to. They've been really deliberate in the first part of the game at lowering the eyes, but just as the conditions deteriorate a little bit, just put it to the dangerous spot, try and compete, get it to ground, and let the smalls do the work on the ground for you.
Jacobs front spot, Mumford at the back, Scully roving well, squeezes a kick only as far as Laird. He had trouble controlling everybody as Kelly. That was terrific, McKay. He sort of whipped it away from Kelly. Jacobs with a little one towards the line, not quite out. Ward, do you think these conditions will suit a man of his stature and status? And a ball in.
It is the tug of war. The midfielders are at each other. The ball just been a little bit slippery, just hard to be really clean and really flowing. Now it is a bit of the trench warfare now, isn't it? Really close quarter stuff.
Yeah, Lee, they're both struggling to get any sort of fluency, particularly in this quarter. We had the heavy rain just at the end of the first quarter. Here's Cameron off the side of the boot, high ball there. Good use of the body on that occasion by Lobb. Did well, couldn't reel it in though. Ball bundled out the back. Opportunity for Crouch. This is Brad. Low ball. The Skinner on offer. Bit of traction. Davis got a hand there. It's spun back like a Shane Warne leggy.
Gee.
It's going to be a goal without the fingertip touch.
So we've seen Haynes in the opening term and Davis there. I mean, two great saves, weren't they? And we saw the skid there with that long grass you talked about, Lee. We're going to see a bit of that tonight. But Adelaide look as if they're prepared to go long into their forward 50 at the moment, which is probably the right way to go. Brad Crouch heavily involved again, and now a free kick to Adelaide. They're having to absorb here at the moment at GWS. No danger for them in terms of what's happened on the scoreboard, but most of the footy is left of your screen right now. Kicks to the pocket, Jenkins clever, Walker, Betts, across the face, McGovern couldn't quite, a couple to beat him, well played, Tomlinson and also Whitfield.
We were worried about Rory Sloane and the hold that he would leave, but Brad Crouch has had an incredible start to the game, up to 11 touches now, 5 tackles and 7 inside 50s, which is just a huge number.
Eddie Betts, I reckon, was mid-air when he kicked that footy then. Remarkable to keep it in. Gee, the boundary umpire didn't throw that towards the middle of the ground. That went very wide. Here he is again. Right foot inside out, Banana! And he's got it! He's got two, Eddie! He's lifting them up here. Eddie Betts. Sensational.
Just the stoppages, BT. They're so dangerous forward 50, aren't they?
Doesn't the word juniors just pop into your mind?
Yeah, it does.
He just made a goal out of a half chance. Kick it outside the right foot, beautiful.
For all the work we do up here trying to analyse the game and the structure and the tactics, and sometimes it's just a moment of brilliance.
And the crowd really heavily involved here. So Adelaide slip away now. Scully on the up. Tomlinson did well. He beat a couple of would-be tacklers. Kelly, so good early, but just that little fumble. Lynch, Matt Crouch, the Crouch brothers again. Kicks to half forward, Shaw getting back.
Thank you.
Not bad when a legend calls someone a genius, Nick, eh? So that's the ultimate compliment from Lee to Eddie.
Absolutely. Shaw with a squirting ball. We haven't seen much of their much wanted attack from half-back, have we? They just haven't been able to get it through this part of the ground at all with speed. Green. Stop-start, and they're chipping the ball wide here to Ward. Need to find something positive here, GWS, methodically to Cameron. Cameron, a left footer. Not much happening in the forward lines in terms of movement. You can see there, pretty well all stationary. Beautifully picked out kick, though, to Williams, and he may well be able to go the journey here, Williams. He indicates that he can.
It's going to have to, BT. They do get back really well, really aggressively, the Crows' defence, so there's nothing going to be on except the long shot.
Indicating to the umpire, yep, I need my 30 there, because I am genuinely having a set shot at goal. So Zach Williams, long way out. He'll need to get every piece of this, you think. 51 metres, and he's dragged it a little to the left.
Talk about Eddie Betts. Nathan Wilson was hanging around to get the handball and have the long running shot. And Eddie Betts was standing behind him about 2 metres. It's a bit like the roper dope. If you give it to him, I'm going to catch him. Yeah. It was a beauty.
They haven't had a forward 50 for a while, the Giants. They need to capitalise here. Just 3 goals behind in a low-scoring match. Brown getting it as far as he can. Well done, Davis. He built it back. Created a little task for Lever. Lever was up for brilliant handball, Lever. McKay running. Put Crouch under the pump. He was good enough. Back to Laird. Back to Talia. Needed to release the footy quickly. He did to Cameron. To Jenkins. What a build-up. He goes over the back. Over the top. McGovern. Free kick.
Oh, he's pushed him in the front.
Oh, that's an interesting call, isn't it? He made the free kick, didn't he, McGovern?
Oh, you're allowed to put your hands to the chest.
Stopping him dropping at the marking contest, that's the adjudication. And I guess he has shoved him in the chest when he wanted to jump for the mark. But I reckon McGovern just made sure the contact had to be made.
It's a tough call for the umpire. I think that the giveaway in that situation is always, was he looking at the ball? And in that situation, Aidan Corr took his eyes off the ball, so that's what the umpires generally look for.
Got it, Adelaide kick away, lead by 4. Well, free kick or no free kick, the build-up from half-back was what Adelaide do so well. It was a brilliant transition.
Not looking at the ball, pushes him in the chest and then goes back for the ball. Front on contact, pretty much. Yeah. No, this discussion.
So there's the explanation. So 5 goals to 1. Adelaide lead by 4.
Lob. Lynch in the way. Handball out the back, so Tomlinson not able to advance it. Jake Kelly here at half-back. Just does everything right, this guy. Plays well within his capabilities. Lynch got the give and go, and now looking down the line, finds Greenwood. Greenwood almost within distance here as well. Crowd urging him. Tex is hanging around the back. He can't find any space to go though, and Greenwood says, "Get away from me. I'm going long to the square." And Lob gets back in front of Jenkins in a very nice defensive manner.
Strong mark, took a very good mark in the opening term in the forward 50. Oh, gone!
Gee, he was within the 10-metre protected zone.
That's again Eddie Betts, just gives him a couple of metres start, give him the ball.
Eddie, you've got to get around.
It's exactly what you were talking about before, Lee.
Come around. I did call play off. I did. Just here. Thank you.
It is interesting
You were
that
there with you.
Oh, he's saying you were there with him. That's why the 10-metre protected zone doesn't count.
Let's have a look at this. There we see
I'm not sure he was close.
He's ready.
Now, Ed,
He's almost daring him to actually run off and try and handball.
I reckon he was too far away for my liking.
And now Betts does kick his 3rd goal. So a couple of really interesting umpiring decisions in the last couple of minutes. And McGovern won a moment ago. We had the explanation for that. Well,
Yeah, I thought the McGovern one's a lay down was there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think everyone, that's always going to be paid a free kick in that marking contest
That one there,
situation.
Lee?
That one we'll have a good look at, I reckon, to see how much had he ran off the line. That'll be the interesting thing to look at.
what do you think, Nick?
Oh, I think he's in the protected area, but he's chasing an opponent, so I think he's within his rights to be able to do that.
And it was play on, yeah, definitely play on.
He was a long way off him though, Nick. He was good 2 or 3 metres away.
So Crows get a free kick out of the centre here without the ball being bounced.
So Adelaide gaining the ascendancy here now, if they haven't already. 5 goals in front. Jacobs came off the bench. He was sent forward, and now he's pulled down a ripper. Straight off the bench. There was a lot of pointing to get him to go forward instead of into the mids, and little firecrackers breaking out everywhere here at the moment. You see Himmelberg on lead. And then you see this. Tex almost helping him grab it. Jacobs 40 metres out, and he misses left. There's a lot of stuff going on all over the field at the moment.
It's just got a bit of a smell about it at the moment for the Giants. So the Giants leaders really need to step up here and just calm the group down a little bit. The best thing that they can do is actually just get hold of the footy, start to control the possession a little bit more. So expect Callum Ward, expect Dylan Shields, some of these experienced midfielders to try and get their hands on the footy and just try and control the tempo a little bit.
Inside 50s this term, 11-4 the Crows. Canelio, that's what Nick's talking about, that controlled kick, De Boer. Cameron couldn't take the mark, gets the free. That's the type of thing, Nick.
Yeah, just try and control the footy. So we know Adelaide score really well from turnovers. Just try and take a little bit of pace out of the Adelaide rebound by just making them more accountable.
So Cameron just sits it up. Big flyer came from Himmelberg at the back. Hopper taken down. He's gone.
Gee, I reckon Cornelio might have hurt his knee as well in that collision with his teammate.
Behind you, Mark.
I think Brodie Smith's done his ACL tonight. The big...
Oh,
Gee whiz,
that doesn't look good. Outside of the knee. Hate to see that. Here's Talia. Adelaide really pressing here now. Cameron, a bit of an ugly ball inside 50. Hard to control though for Lobb. He gets one go at it. To Core, to Shaw, and now to Himmelberg. Himmelberg under pressure, slides it back inside to Wilson.
Thank you.
What can they find here, GWS? Beautiful kick by Wilson to Scully. He can go if he wants. Short little poker here. Finds De Boer. De Boer can get it over the top to Cornelio. He draws a crowd. Hardigan there to help Knight. And they do that so well.
Yeah, I think you just got to go a bit more direct in that situation. You mark the ball 60 out. Jeremy Cameron, a great one-on-one player. Get the ball inside to him, 20 metres out from goal. Let him do his thing instead. You got a 50-50 ball, 50 metres from goal.
Just got to hit the scoreboard here. Can't concede any bigger lead than this. Knight gets it out. Betts, Wilson. Betts good there because he stopped the kicking in danger situation. Williams on his left gets it back to about 35 metres. Patton couldn't quite control it, and then he puts a good tackle on and creates a stop.
It's only a number 20 inside 50s for the Giants for only one goal. Admittedly, they've had 6 scoring shots, but the defensive group of the Crows has just been like a brick wall.
Crowd loving that.
Yeah, the Giants have made the move to set up a loose man in defence. So at the moment, it's Rory Lobb. He's sitting about 50 metres behind the ball. That'll stop Adelaide scoring, but it's going to make it pretty difficult for the Giants to score themselves when Lever's able to set up in a similar position.
Well done, Brad Crouch. Mumford. Douglas, Lever there as well. Atkins, Douglas sprints away with a footy. An opportunity here for Laird. He had no one long, so he was forced to go short to McGovern. He zigs this way, that away. Speed through the middle from Eddie. The drawing ball out wide to the left foot of Atkins. Won't get it over the top. Jenkins with Davis in a one-on-one battle, and now Lobb for support.
And Betts almost put the tackle on. Gets the ball to centre wing. Lobb. Brown. Hardigan rode it well, plays the advantage, kicks to centre half forward. Jenkins couldn't quite take the mark. Lobb doing well back there for the moment. Nick talked about the fact they'd stationed him there. Good contest there from De Boer. Ball still in play, Delidio. Ball squeezes out. Matt Crouch couldn't quite get it. He gets a free kick though. And GWS are being sucked in a little here.
It's an interesting call to put someone like Lobb. I mean, he's tall, he's agile, he's going to be good in the air, but I wouldn't think he's going to cover a whole lot of ground to block the holes in the Crows forward line.
So Matt Crouch. Walker, what a mark in these heavy rain conditions at the moment that we're experiencing.
And Lobb was in that pack.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he has to prevent.
Yep.
Tex with the Dukes. Beautifully done. Went where the mark, thumbs behind it. Knocked it down, 2 grabber. Exactly the way you should do it. Now the finish, well within his range. Walker looking to make it 7 straight for Adelaide. Fans enjoying it. Adelaide revelling in these really difficult trying conditions at the moment. Heavy rain again now, and they've kicked 7 in a row. 3 of them to Eddie Betts.
So I wondered how they've had virtually a fortnight where they didn't have the fear of failure competitive edge, because the last game they were already top spot. How they'd come off it well.
Lynch. So both Walker and Betts get to over 50 goals again this season through the night. Adelaide are 19-3 in second terms this year. They are pulverising the Giants at the moment. Matt Crouch getting through. Rain, the heaviest it's probably been for the night. And now Atkins on the back half of the square.
Bruce, no doubt it is the heaviest. The forecast said about a 20% chance of rain, but no surprise the Bureau have got it wrong again.
So Kelly short to McKay. And then back to Kelly. So Adelaide collect their breath. They've done all the scoring here. Defensive kick down the line. Jacobs the target. Lob at the back. Belted it away. Well done, Kelly. Good hands. Tomlinson squeezes a long one out. Deledio. And now Ward to half forward. Now Cameron on the wrong side for him. Kelly working him. Cameron. Hardigan kept his head down low. Kelly wants it over the line, and it is. So have a look at the Telstra tracker, the information. So second quarter.
Yeah, well, that's how Adelaide have just dominated this quarter, 29.2 to 18.5. So they're just outworking the Giants when they've got the footy. So Adelaide win the ball, they're exploding from stoppage, they're running, they're working, as opposed to the Giants, who are far more stagnant when they've got the footy, and that's why they're struggling to score when they go forward.
There's Whitfield, Betts, Lynch, Green, hasn't had a lot to do, hasn't been down there a lot. Heard the umpire's call. Cameron was attacked by Tomlinson. Little soccer off the ground, 2-on-1 opportunity here. Haynes down low, Walker scrapping for the footy. He reels it back in, and really he should be the one that's penalised here, Tex. He's very, very lucky to get away with that. Look at Himmelberg indicating to the umpire that he dragged it back in.
Jacobs and Mumford. Ward tried, couldn't quite. Kelly again. Gets it to Williams. So Williams almost up to half forward. Patton, well played. Talia building it away. Seedsman. Brown straightened up cleverly. Didn't quite get there, Kelly, but he toe poked the ball forward and gives Jacobs an opportunity. He has to release in a hurry. So Jacobs back to Crouch. And then Crouch with a careful ball over the top. So Adelaide just controlling everything at the moment. Here's Kelly.
Move it on, play on.
So Kelly told to go. In front of the interchange bench, does the defensive attack thing and goes down the line.
Hold there, Taylor. Play on.
So Patton told to go. He looks back and wasn't really safe to go back to Shaw, so he goes down the line, and Wilson just hammers the footy on top of Green. Lever circling him. Gee, he'd have to have the best fist in footy, I reckon. Giving the ball off was Crouch to his brother. He says, go, go, go. Eddie goes up real early, but even Eddie could have pulled that off. And now back to Lever with another fist to the boundary line.
It isn't hard, is it? The jump of Eddie Betts. How much fun is it, the footy, when you see that? But actually, just the defensive punching, the really aggressive 20-metre punchbacks from Lever. Have a look at that jumpy. It was a fair way from the footy, but
looks sensational.
Got to give it a go.
Not much you can't do. What can the Giants do? Mumford, Jacobs getting the better again, and then belting it forward. Walker caught. Under pressure, goes to ground. Where is Betts? Himmelberg. Haynes gets away. And geez, good player, Haynes. Gets to Shaw. Shaw, careful kick, good kick. Finds Whitfield. They need composure. They need a lot of things right now. So Whitfield plays the corridor. Not a great kick, Adelaide, to pick it off and back. Oh no, not back they come because a rare error from Brad Crouch.
Was Kelly rounded it up. Little handball, well done by Kelly. Really difficult conditions. Now Ward sends it high on the head of Cameron here. He tries to muscle for position. Well done by Hardigan at the back. Ball hits the deck. Scully will want to keep it alive. He does. Handball back over the top. Hardigan's got to go. Went down low and got the Jeremy Cameron high ball.
He's done his job, hasn't he, Hardigan? He's been strong every aerial contest.
Yeah, Hardigan and Talia really blanketing Cameron and Patton at the moment, having no impact.
Jake Kelly brings it back to where the traffic was. Jacobs should mark this. In fact, he deliberately knocked it down then to Matt Crouch, I reckon. Kelly was able to get on the end of it, gave it to Ward, but he was wrapped up in the seedsman tackle.
Just on Cameron and Patton, you feel like it's not going to be their night conditions-wise, so almost just plant them 20 or 30 metres out from goal. Just make them the focal point and allow the smaller players to just get to work at their feet.
Just looking at the ruck contest, Mumford yet to touch the footy. Sammy Jacobs, 6 contested possessions.
Certainly had the better of it, so hasn't he? Well done, De Boer. And then De Boer to the pocket. Patton did well. He brought the ball down to a challenging position. Green, gang tackled and held up.
Dude, that's interesting. With what Soda said, Mumford yet to touch the footy.
Just leave it.
No disposals for Mummy. So GWS pushing late in the first half. Back to Whitfield. Shield almost, not quite. Kelly juggling it. Greenwood, clever by Lynch. Got a fair bit on it actually. Got it down that line. Jenkins a strong body, important. Got hold of Haynes. McGovern's toe poke good. Lynch terrific. Brilliant by Knight. How good was that to McGovern? Oh, you know who's on the end of this one? He's kicked 3 in the first half. He goes now. Oh no, he gives it off, and they've got another one. They're on their way to the prelim final. They got it. It was a little scary at the end.
How's that work ethic in the middle? There was just a lot of players touched the footy around the middle of the ground, but as soon as the Crows came up with the footy, it was about here. Little kick, little touch, now they're out. And then it was the race back, and the Crows were going to win that easy.
Geez, unselfish bets, isn't he?
He is. He knew he was going to do it, though. He's just such an unselfish player, and I don't know why Jenkins would go with that ball in these conditions along the ground, because he almost blew it. Within half a metre of the goalpost, I reckon. Now, GWS under enormous pressure as Lever at half-back.
That was just a classic Adelaide blueprint, wasn't it? Get them up, beat them out the back. What a way to go into half-time. They'll go in with their tails up here, the Crows.
What a half of football. That man there, 3 goals. They kicked 5 in the quarter here. 3 in the first quarter. 8 consecutive goals after Himmelberg kicked the first goal of the game. Adelaide lead here at half-time by 44 points and doing it very well. Mark Soderstrom is downstairs. Soderstrom, what have you got for us?
Well, Richie Douglas, Richie, they got the first goal, but my lord, you've kicked 8 in a row. What a phenomenal start.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's pretty ugly footy, mate. It's finals, it's wet, it's contested. We love it. So just about getting in hard, getting it forward, and trying to get on the scoreboard. So it's a good quarter for us.
Richie, I suppose your first quarters have been your Achilles heel for most of the season. A lot of talk about the start during the week.
Oh, not really. That's the final. You know, if you can't get up for this, you never will. So boys were pumped, and great first half, but got a big second half to go. So hopefully we can finish it off.
Sauce Jacobs in the middle having an outstanding game against Mumford.
Yeah, inspirational Sauce. Been through a lot this week, so class act is playing really well.
Good start, Richie. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, very good, Soda. As you can see, the players in the background are excited about the position they find themselves in here at half-time. Adelaide Crows lead it by 44, and they are pumped.